watching and welcome to our presentation. The main subject of the presentation is the island of Sumatra. Me and my peers over here are going to tell you everything about this island. And Veerle will start giving information about the history of the island.
So, the history of Sumatra. Around 2,000 years ago, two megalithic cultures came into Sumatra. One in the mountains of Sumatra and one in Puala Nias. Malacca fell into the Portuguese in 1511. In the beginning of the 17th century, Dutch traders wanted to make a piece. They wanted a piece of the spice trade. In the early 19th century, the Dutch attempted to establish a military control over all of Sumatra. After 3 attempts, they passed Sumatra and they took over Sumatra. Railroad groups were in Sumatra from 1958 to 1961. In 2004, a big tsunami came across Sumatra. Now I'm going to tell you more about the nature. The province includes large areas of dense tropical forest, which is home to the host of species. The province also includes 2 national parks and a number of several reserves. Now the geography. The geography, Indonesia consists of multiple islands. The 5 main islands are Sumatra, Java, Kalimantan, Sulawesi, and Irian Jaya. Geographers have conventionally grouped Sumatra in the Greater Sunda Island. Now Jamie is going to tell you more about the economic situation.
The economic situation of Sumatra relies heavily on natural resources such as oil and natural gas. But Sumatra has its ups and downs. The first disaster was in 2004, the tsunami, like Veerle said, and in 2006 the post-tsunami construction program started to increase economical growth. Economical growth after the tsunami was 7.7% in that year, every year. Political situation. In 1976, there was a conflict between the Indonesian government and the local separatist movement. It was a conflict about the underground and destruction. But the conflict ended peacefully in 2005. After the conflict, sorry, just forgot my text. But, the biggest problem in Sumatra is the end of the reconstruction boom, because there will be a shortage of skilled employees. Company struggles to find and keep talent employees. Talent employees are hard to find, and it's important for organizations to keep that employees. And we will discuss later on. So now, Nina will tell you something about the labor market.
As Jamie already mentioned, the economy is growing for the last few years very rapidly. So there are a lot of new jobs on the labor market right now. But unfortunately there are not enough new jobs at the moment. Youth unemployment and the labor market is growing very fast. For example, every year is 2 million Indonesians attending the labor market. So in 2010 there were only 160 million people, and now there are 127 million working people. So that's growing very fast. So the youth unemployment is a very big issue. Female unemployment, the last few years, female unemployment declined rapidly. So the male rate and the female rate are almost similar. So it's a very positive development in the last few years. Gender equality, Sumatra is working to gender equality, but it's very hard because women are still working in informal sectors, are get paid less and working in poorly occupational facilities. The labor law, Indonesia is working for equal rights. Men and women are the same, but they're not running it. So it's very important that the women and men get the same salary for the same jobs. This is a very big issue, and Indonesia, Sumatra, has to work on it. Employment of children, it's not allowed to work for children under the age of 15 years. They can work between the age of 13 and 15 if the development of the physical situation will not have a bad influence. And the last thing, girls to the age of 18 years old cannot work from 11 p.m. in the evening to 8 a.m. in the morning. These are the biggest issues in Sumatra. And now Joyce is going to tell you something about the culture.
Based on the theory of Hofstede, I have studied the culture profile of Sumatra. There are 6 factors that are measured, but I have chosen 3. The first is individualism. That means that people are very individual. They are look after themselves or their direct family. Indonesia scored very low on this point, 14. That means that they are very collective. They want to work in groups and they want to do all things all together. So that means that they're not individual. The next thing is masculinity. That means that people are based on achievement, success, and they are proud of their achievements. Versus feminine, that means that it's the quality of life. And the status is not important, and that kind of things. Indonesia score half on this. That means that the status and visible symbols of the success are important, but it's not the motivation of the people. So they don't want to be the best of everything. The last thing is uncertainty avoidance. That means is that the future never can be known. Indonesia people want to make it happen and not control everything, so they are scoring half on this point. Now the girls of the Philippines are going to tell us more about the culture of shine. Are you ready, guys?
Yes.
Okay. So you can tell about something about the culture of shine?
Yeah. I cannot hear Veronica.
No, Veronica.
She's not here already.
Oh, she's gone.
There is a struggle to find and keep talented employees, as well as retaining and developing them. There's also a conflict between retaining talented employees and the company cost. Aside from that, there is a high turnover of employees because there is a lack of challenge that the employees are trying to gain as they progress together with the company.
And actually, in the company, there are reasons and concerns that the people oblige us to use the performance management system, in which they will be monitored based on their performance, which can comply to their improvement and productivity in the company. So for Shine's theory, we chose Shine's theory over Cameron and Kim because we think that this is more applicable and more suitable to the problem of the company and best describes the company's situation. So for Shine, uh, he has a theory wherein he has a framework wherein it is composed of the artifacts, the values, and the assumptions that describes the levels of a company. So for artifacts, it is composed of the physical things that can be easily observed in a company, such as the culture of Sumatra, the physical components, wherein it composed with the space of the office, the facilities it has, the composition of the whole plan. Do you want to add something?
Yeah, they also have this facilities that they use for overall. They have their manufacturing site, 2 plants, and
So
they
what
also
this has,
have. It is also by board of directors, the chief executive officer, chief operations officer, chief financial officer, chief engineering and development officer, and chief human resource manager. Artifacts is basically everything that we see in the organization that is visible, can be felt, and it is the most observable one.
so the second one is the values. So the values are the desires that is within the company. Well, eventually it is transformed into assumption. Within the company XYZ, we found several values that are exercised within the organization. These are the positive and creative, being positive, creative and innovative thinking, which is for the idea that can be presented and translated into a short and long-term plan. Next is worshiping God, which is for the people's honesty, discipline, loyalty, and care, and responsibility with enthusiasm in their work. Next is praying for all the efforts that cannot be performed without God's guidance. And lastly is the gratitude for the humility for God's help, for the purity of heart and differentiate right from wrong in certain situations that serves us their criteria for whatever they will take, for every action that they will take. So the last level is Nash.
I would just add something about the values. So these are the public statements about the organizational values, and employees are conscious of these because these values, as they are the ones that the company would like the employees to bear every day, and to achieve the goals of the organization. In essence, this tends to be the public identity of the organization because these are the stated values that they want to be known for, and those that the company that Veronica said already are their values. And the third one is the basic assumptions and values. These are intangible, unspoken, and difficult to be seen as their culture because the values that we have discussed before, a while ago became part of their daily lives and unconsciously become part of their everyday actions. So aside from that, these are also the values of the employees that cannot be measured or even hard to measure. 2 basic assumptions are seen in the case of the company. It is their deep faith in God as well as loyalty to their religion that makes the company give rules and policies that are in line with their religion. This could also be rooted as the community has a strong resistance to outside environment and preserve their tradition and religion so much. Another assumption is the paternalistic behavior, which is also rooted to their culture and their strong obedience to their religion, since they are inculcated to be a loving person. And sometimes there are hard truths that have to be stated, especially in the company, and especially when there are times that assessments have to be done, those things come to blur or they tend to be lenient as they favor their colleagues. Do you have something to
So-
add, Veronica?
So to add, this may be said to be found as an unconscious way to live with, but as that they course through the days of their lives, all the things they unconsciously do are the things that is giving praise to them for whatever they do in their lives. These are not needed to be taught or be regulated to them, but is being a part of their life, embedded in their with everyone's heart, can be cognitively, but at least directed to guide their actions. So, lastly, for the recommendations. So, for the recommendations with the mentioned problems, sino na? So, first, for the old employees, due to the constraints that they don't want any changes within the company, we would like to recommend that before implementing performance management and talent management within the company, it should have awareness and penetration before the implementation, wherein employees must know first what are the changes that will proceed to their company rather than encounter constraints that are not informed to them. Because as we said, you are afraid of what you don't know. That is why people at work think that they must be eliminated whether they are performing not that well. So, ikaw naman.
I have here my 10 recommendations, but I think Veronica will also add something later. So just like Veronica said, in layman's term, it is about communicating change from top to bottom of the organizational chart. So first thing in implementing a performance and talent management successfully is communicating change, not just to the board of directors and supervisors, but most especially to the workers and even to the lowest level of the organizational chart. This is to explain the importance of transitioning from human resource to talent management and its advantages to the people, and make the people also welcome and support the implementation. This is also essential to let the employees see that change is not something to be afraid of, instead to view it as an advantage to their part, and that change will have a positive impact, not just for the company, but to them as well. Aside from that, the company should also deliver a concise and measurable job description, which is one of their problems because they don't have a clear job description, and they also have to communicate well how the employees will be assessed. So since one of the problems of the company is getting and retaining talented employees, the company must first look at the talents that they have before recruiting, because recruitment is much more costly than retaining members or employees. With this, they may conduct a survey regarding their work, about their overall experience in the company, their relationship with supervisors, what they wanted to learn more, and even the things that they want the company to continue to stop, and the things that they could improve. This way, they could update the job description of their employees, making it new, and it also avoids monotony of job and limiting the experience in their department. It is also important that the company come up with a system that would track the growth of their employees and let them know the results. This way, they will be challenged to improve and be creative in every way possible.
So to sum this up, whenever they are informed, take a whole new perspective, training and giving training and developments as an investment that will suffice a long-term benefit for the company. Because it will give you a loyal and retained and improving employees. Acquiring new talents is, because we all know, acquiring new talents is much more costly compared to retaining ones. So for the acquisition of new employees, here are my recommendations. First is that we need to increase the rate, due to the increasing rate of upcoming retirees, we should use an We should use this as an attraction for new talents because this means a lot of new and high positions need to be filled and will satisfy what they need for growth and opportunities they are trying to find outside the company. So next one is make new policies of acquiring new employees that per year employees will be segmented based on their ages to avoid the progressing number and at the same time retiring of employees so that for example, we must estimate a number of employees for this year that can be within 20s and after the next 10 years, then within the 30s and then so on until their retirement. So every time or every year, if ever there are 10 employees that will retire, at least there are 10 new ones to fill the positions. Next will be execution of performance appraisals by informing first the people that they will be monitored so that you will find out their weaknesses and you will inform them that this is to find their weaknesses and not to be used to eliminate those who are not performing well. Next, it could be set outing of monthly objectives for your people to target so that they will have higher performance whether they are achieving their goal. Next would be identifying their needs and wants so that they will not find this from other companies and they will tend to stay in your company. So in acquiring new employees, you can attract employees by the usage of social networking sites. Social networking sites that is more cheap than using other paraphernalias in acquiring new employees when it comes to cost issues. And the last would be setting out best offers and opportunities for newly hired employees. That's all.
Wait, I have something to add. So in the first part of our recommendation, of it's more about introducing talent management in the workplace. I have something to add about that. It's conducting a pre-assessment, mid-assessment, post-assessment to each individual to measure the performance, experience, and growth of the employees and give incentives to those that are performing well. So once the process of assessment is well communicated, it is time for them to practice assessing the employees. The employees must be introduced to how to assess objectively since we have known in the case study that Sumatra have a larger part of having an Islam religion and they have a very strong resistance to outside control. So they have to be introduced that even though they have the culture of being paternalistic, they still have to grade or to tell the truth of how they observe their co-employees or even their supervisors and the supervisors to their employees. Then it is also important that they have this learning plan for each department. So the learning plan may be done with respective teams to develop collaboration from top executives down to the front lines. So learning plans will serve as the direction of the team. This way, the team is ensured that there is something that the department could offer every now and then, which could reduce the turnover of the employees. Since taking note that one of their problems is a high turnover of employees because they are not challenged enough in what they are doing in the company. Another thing is giving team buildings and trainings to employees. Even though trainings are not just for those low performing employees, but team building and trainings is essential in culture building. This way, they can accept or reject beliefs that, like the one that I told a while ago, that are not helpful in the company growth. And then the last one for that category is to publish or communicate the progress of the company every month or quarter. So this is important because the employees also have to know if their works or their even what I mean is their hard works are paying off. So as well as this could also be used to boost the morale of the employees and to give them a sense of direction. So it is just rightful to share information that will signal the employees towards their goals. So for their problem in recruitment, just like Veronica said, it is more costly if we will get new employees. So we have to look in what we have and then nourish what we can nourish them so that they could also learn and grow together with the company. They could, because even if we recruit new ones, those that are in the company for a long time will be like the image or the brand of the company internally. So this is my recommendation. So if the need to recruit is present, the company will provide examinations, especially those practical ones, because you can see in actions if the candidate is capable of doing the task assigned to them, not just theoretically. So this will assess if the person is qualified enough to the position. They can also provide clear employee handbook to ensure that employee has guide and may adapt easily to the workplace. Another one, to reduce cost while retaining talented employees, the company may partner with agencies or companies skilled to the task and outsource functions that are not core competencies, or they can hire contingent workforce. Those contingent workforce are also known as freelancers, independent professionals, and they are hired in non-permanent basis. With this alternative, the employees will have the time to focus more on their work and their core competencies, rather than spend time on those that are not aligned to their key business strategies. So I think this is one of the best alternatives in hiring new employees, because aside from being focused on their core competencies, they could also protect permanent workforce from work reduction or overload to natural business cycles. They can also cope with surges in workload of volume, find quality people on short-term notice, and they can have the access with fundamental skill set, freeing up permanent staff for specialized critical job. And they could also reduce cost, which is the most important, which is associated with benefits, retirement, and taxes, as well as long-term compensation cost. They may evaluate new talent without commitment and may also be used as a potential employee if possible. So the last two is to be vigilant in approving trainings to avoid redundant programs, especially in the Department of the Talent Management, because there are times that departments are requesting for trainings that are not properly aligned or does not have a proper lineup of activities that could add value. And the last one is to retain talented employees while minimizing costs. The company must first focus on benefits that have most impact on the employees. This means that the company should reduce costs without reducing benefits. Example is evaluating different insurance carriers that are not costly but still provide better value. So, there. That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
I think we can proceed now to the
Collaboration.
lessons learned in this collaboration.
So I will tell you more about how we experienced this collaboration with the Philippines. As I can say, I think for the group, it's
Veronica is there already.
for the group I can speak that it was a fun collaboration. We learned a lot about it.
Yeah. You can proceed now.
During the
I think they're recording already.
So for this collaboration, we experienced this as a lot of fun. And we learned a lot about it. I think during the back communication sometimes via Skype, it's hard to make a good, make good plans. So sometimes we had to go on to texting each other, and I think we also learned to set boundaries for everyone. Everyone needs to have a clear view of what we are doing, what needs to be done, who is doing what, and I think we did a pretty good job. So I want to thank you for watching our presentation, and I hope you learned a lot about Sumatra, and thank you again.
Yes.